Hey photographer, Jessica Whitaker here. Let's talk about the Contax G2 35mm film camera. I'll be giving a rundown review of this camera as well as taking you behind the scenes on a photo shoot. By the end of this video, you should be able to gauge whether or not the G2 is a good fit for you, your lifestyle, and your business. I teach photography, both film and digital, from a practical, simplified perspective. I find that a lot of videos include too much technical jargon that won't mean much to somebody unless they are a pro film photographer. So I'm keeping it simple. If you do want the full specs, I'll have them linked down below in a listing in the description box. Who I think this camera is a good fit for, I want to thank my sponsor, Pic-Time, for making this free photography video possible. Photographer, it's time to elevate your photography business using Pic-Time. Pic-Time is a great way to deliver images to your clients, giving them a seamless experience. Pic-Time combines image delivery with a print store, and in fact, they're partnered with dozens of labs all over the world. You can even do email automation and slideshows. Click the link down below to sign up for free and use the code Jessica to get 1 bonus month. Let's go over the image gallery. You can upload your images and let Pic-Time transform them into a beautiful gallery that you can customize into different portions and tabs so clients can easily navigate to what set they're most interested in downloading first. Then from your gallery, you can sell printed goods in a shop directly in the gallery. From a variety of beautiful albums to holiday cards. You just set the price and go hands-free from there, or use the suggested prices that Pic-Time offers. And Pic-Time handles everything. So from the shipping and the tracking to customer service about the product itself, it's such a seamless process for you, for your client, and for any family members who want to order something special. It's a great way to get into selling products if you have no previous experience. Perfect starting point. With products, you need to have a sales funnel, and Pic-Time offers completely customizable email marketing. So you can send a one-off email about the shop after a certain time that they've opened the gallery, or send an email to promote a holiday sale. Pic-Time also offers complete email sales funnels, and these are all pre-written for you. So you can use the copy that Pic-Time provides, tweak it yourself, or start from scratch on your own. If you want to try it out, Pic-Time offers a migration service where they will take all of your previous galleries and clients and move them over into the Pic-Time platform. Photographer, your free trial is linked in the description box below, and don't forget to use the code Jessica to get 1 bonus month free. Now let's get into the review. This is a 35mm camera, which means that it takes 35mm film, and chances are if you have friends who shoot film photography, they most likely use a 35mm camera. This is a little canister of 35mm film. It's one of these guys. This is the same kind of film that would be in a disposable camera that you could put into a point and shoot, but instead we just have more options with this kind of camera called an SLR. If you don't know where to start when it comes to picking out what film to use, I have you covered in a video all about what kind of film to buy depending on what you are looking for aesthetic-wise and with your subject and lighting. I explain it in a super simple way, and I will have that video linked right here. When you're buying a film camera, you have to purchase the lens separately, and so the lenses that I have for this camera are Zeiss lenses. I have a 45mm, which is currently attached to my camera right now. The other lens that I have is a 28mm 2.8, and that is also a Zeiss lens, and I use both in the behind the scenes photo shoot. When it comes to focusing, it does not get better than this camera. You can shoot in manual. That is what actually, let me pull up this little guy. Does this kind of camera look familiar to you? This is an SLR, but it is manual, whereas this has a lot of automatic features. And one of those features is that you can do autofocus, whereas something like this, you have to manually focus. Manually focusing, though, isn't something that should intimidate you. It's very easy, and you get the hang of it really quickly. However, if you are shooting in auto, it is incredible. It nails every single time. It's razor sharp. Even in difficult lighting situations, the autofocus is incredible. And one Example that you'll see later on in the photo shoot is I am shooting at the very end of golden hour, and the camera still nails the focus, even in that really soft and low light. On the back of the camera, you have a knob that has 3 different focus settings: continual autofocus, you have single autofocus, and manual focus. I typically have my camera always set to continual autofocus. A big difference between the Contax G2 and something like this little guy is that the loading and unloading of the film is automatic. So all you have to do is simply insert the film into the back of the camera, close the back, and then it will automatically wind it for you. And then when you are done shooting, it will wind the film back up for you nice and tight, and then you drop this off to get developed. Which, if you're curious about how do you get your film images to digital, I have a video all on that. Click right here to watch. Now, what's also really cool about this camera is you don't have to set the ISO. It will automatically detect it for you, and you can find that in a little window up at the top left hand of the camera. Do you hear that sound? That's it kind of trying to detect that there's film in there. But with this camera, you would insert in the film, and then you close the back, and then you would use this little top lever right here to wind it up when you're at the end of the roll. And you have to keep track of the amount of photos you've been taking, whereas this one will automatically detect it for you so you don't overshoot. I've done that quite a few times on this camera. Let's talk about 2 settings: shutter speed and ISO. The shutter speed range is 2 to 4,000. You can manually select your shutter speed, or you can shoot in auto. And auto is accurate and it is incredible. And if you choose to shoot in auto, you are not any less of a film photographer than if you choose to manually do it, because if you have already mastered your manual settings and you just want to shoot on auto to not even have to focus so intensely on each shot, let's say you're taking this on vacation or just taking photos for fun, and that's something you don't want to focus on, then you can totally shoot in auto. But I would recommend, if you haven't mastered your manual settings, something like this is going to be more beneficial for you learning wise, because you might be using auto as a crutch. I really like this comment that I had on my Contax review from 2 years ago, and it reads, "While there is something to be said about thoroughly knowing the basics of working in manual mode, sometimes it's best to just let go for a little bit, focus on aperture and composition, and have fun." I love this comment because it puts it perfectly. The second setting is ISO, which this is determined by the kind of film that you purchase. So this little guy I have right here is Kodak Gold 100. So 100 is the ISO. ISO range on the actual camera is 6 all the way up to 6400, but it starts being sensitive at 100 ISO. Let's talk about price point. So in 2020, the camera was going for around $1,200, $1,200 to $1,400. And I purchased my camera in person at a camera shop in Copenhagen. These are also very hard to find, which is going to contribute to the price point. Now in 2022, after tax for just the body, you're looking at about $1,800 to possibly $2,000 for this camera. This is expensive and it's not budget friendly. However, this is where you have to determine if the price tag is worth the value of the camera. Of course, photographers, we are going to say 100% yes, it's worth it, because we might be using it every day or in our business every shoot. But if you're watching this video because you're just curious if this is a good purchase for you to learn film photography on, then I would not recommend it. That is very expensive price point for a tool to determine if you want to continue on in this medium. There are other options available that I'll talk about in a minute. However, is this camera beginner friendly? The answer is yes. So while it is not budget friendly, it is beginner friendly if you are looking for a camera that will grow with you. Now, for my digital photographers who are watching, if you could see yourself incorporating this into your lifestyle and your business, and you can swing the price, or you could see yourself saving up for it, I would say go for it. You're going to fall in love with this camera. At the end of the day, film photography is a luxury and there are other costs associated with it. The cost of film alone is very expensive, especially right now in 2022. It is about $20 for a roll of Portra 400, Portra 800. This is one of the most popular film stocks, film types that you can buy. And then to get that developed is around $20 if you are in major cities. Like I said, I will link a ton of budget-friendly, beginner-friendly, cheaper cameras down below. And then I also encourage you to check out the Contax G2 link and you can compare for yourself. Now I want you to come along with me behind the scenes on a photo shoot where I am using color film. I'm going to be shooting on Portra 400 and then black and white film. I'm going to be shooting on Kodak T-Max 100. And those numbers mean the ISO. So T-Max is 100 ISO and I am shooting in direct sunlight and it's black and white. I'm so excited for these photos and I mainly used my 28mm lens for that. And the Portra 400 is 400 ISO and we were using 400 at the tail end of the shoot in golden hour, and then as the sun slipped down, I definitely would have wanted to switch out to 800 ISO, so I have a little bit more light that's being let in. I hope you enjoyed this behind the scenes, and if you like this video so far, you like my teaching style, be sure to hit subscribe because I make free photography videos for your business, both film and digital, every single week here on YouTube. Ooh, and don't forget to grab Pic-Time down below. Let's get into the behind the scenes. Okay, so I just switched to the 28mm and this goes down to 2.8, which we love. And now we're gonna switch to our Kodak T-Max 100 ISO. This is black and white film, and what is amazing about the Contax G2 is that you do not have to set the ISO. It will automatically know what the heck it is. So here we go. I open it up on the side and it's gonna load the film for me. I mean, I have to put it in, but you don't have to reel anything. I love it. So I pop it in like this, and then I'm going to drag it. Oops. And everybody's going to admire my butterfly nails while I'm doing that. So everybody comment down below, we love your nails, we love it. Okay, so there's 36 images on here, and then there's this little window that will remind me what kind of film is in here and what ISO it is and then how many shots. So then I'm going to pop this down and then I'm going to turn it on and it knows when I click ISO right here. Let me show you. When I click ISO, it recognizes 100. How does it do that? I don't know. Ask Contax. Oh wait, they don't make these anymore, so there's no way to know. And what's awesome about this camera is that you can totally shoot in auto and it's going to do a phenomenal job. This is like the top of the line when it comes to 35mm. Of course, there are so many options out there like Minolta X370 and Canon AE1, and I can have those linked down below, and I've done videos on those. I've compared lots of the lower price point ones, but there is something so incredible about the Contax G2 that if you've been shooting on 35mm for a while and you are wanting to start incorporating this into your client sessions, you cannot go wrong with this camera. And so using the 28mm is going to give us some really gorgeous wide shots. So I'm going to show you just how good this camera can get put to work. W-E-R-K. We're going to shoot an auto for a handful of these photos and they're going to come out amazing. So let's get started. Okay, cute. And that is our next roll of film. Now for the grand finale, and the sun is almost the perfect spot in the sky, we're gonna switch to the 45mm, and we might even go back to the 28 again. And shoot on Portra 400, which I tracked down at Omega Photo in Bellevue. Now there's a big shortage on Portra because the steel that is on either end of the film canister is like having a big shortage with the material, the steel itself. So that's why it's not available, but hopefully they'll make more available soon. So anyways, let's go swap to Portra 400. If you have any questions about film photography, I want you to join my free photography Facebook group. It's called Build and Bloom. It's kind, it's encouraging, and it's inclusive, and the best place to ask questions about your specific business or your specific gear. It's free to join. I'll have it linked down below, or just look up Build and Bloom on Facebook groups. Be sure to hit subscribe so you're the first to know when new free videos for your photography business come out. I believe in you and I believe in your business, and I'll see you in this video that YouTube thinks you should take a look at. Click right here to watch and learn.